In the UK and many other places, it's trail and enduro bikes that make up the bread and butter of the mountain bike market. These machines can get to the top of a hill without too much effort and can absolutely shred on the way back down. Here are 5 of the latest trail and enduro bikes you need to be aware of for 2019. Despite their bike designing ethos favouring flat-out speed, Mondraker still seemed slightly sceptical about 29ers until recently. There was the Crafty a few years ago, which featured cross-country quantities of travel, but that morphed into a 650B Plus bike pretty quick. So we were excited when Mondraker finally released their Foxy trail bike with big wheels. As you'd expect, the reach is long, there's 0 suspension linkages present and correct, and there are carbon and alloy models available. We've only just started testing the Foxy, but our first impression is that this could be one of the fastest trail bikes on the market. The uber-rad geometry isn't even the most interesting aspect of Pole's machine, which is constructed in a truly unique fashion. The frame is CNC machined, hence the name, in 7 parts from pressed billets of high-strength 7075 T6 aluminium. These are bonded and bolted together down the frame's centerline. Oh, and the geometry? Only the Geometron rivals it for length. A size large has a reach of 510mm, 455mm chainstays, and a 63.5 degree head angle. This bike is a monster truck. It only took 1 race before Commencal were top of the podium with the Meta AM29, and that dominance has continued throughout the EWS series, with Cecile Ravenel winning, at time of writing, every single round. This bike isn't in itself particularly revolutionary nor fancy. The frame is alloy, the geometry pretty standard, but there's something inherently fast about this bike, as we found when we first rode it at the recent launch. This bike makes you wonder whether you really need high-tech materials and radical angles, and with Commencal's impressive value for money, we reckon this could be 2019's best privateer enduro race machine. Love them or loathe them, Santa Cruz's latest generation Bronson was always going to make this list. Their 150mm travel frame has been updated to share the same lower link VPP as the hugely successful V10 DH bike and Nomad enduro bike. Santa Cruz says that this design is more descent focused, and having ridden the bike, we can safely say that the rear wheel is glued to the floor, until of course you hop the bike over obstacles or send it off a lip. When it comes to getting back to the top for another run, you'd be surprised at how well it copes uphill too. Expect to see a lot of these on your local trails soon. What happens when you take a specialised stump jumper and then stretch it lengthways and squash it vertically? You get the Stumpjumper Evo, the longer, lower and slacker version of Specialized's venerable trail bike. While most bikes come in small, medium, large and extra large, the Evo comes in S2 and S3 sizes, basically long and longer. And when they say long, they mean it. The S3 Evo 27.5 has a whopping 490mm reach, 45mm longer than a regular large Stumpy 29. While the geometry is as radical as Specialized go, the frames are also striking, with an asymmetrical support strut between top and down tubes for that on-trend look. Despite drawing a lot of the hype, the Stumpy Evo isn't cheap, but it's also not that expensive by current standards, coming in at $3,250 or $3,600 for the one and only build, the Comp.